好，各位佛友，大家下午好。
Good afternoon again, Dharma friends.
我们继续讲这个三种升起次第的三种金刚依柜。
So we are going to continue now with the three-stage visualization ritual as part of generation stage practice.
好，我们刚才前面我们已经讲过了这个三种金刚依柜当中的第一个我们前面已经给大家介绍过了。
So in the session this morning, we finished speaking about the first step of the threefold visualization ritual.
好，就这个。好，三种金刚依柜当中的第二是我们刚才观想了日轮、月轮，然后就是这个种子字，就这三个了这个是第一个步骤。然后现在第二个这个金刚依柜这个时候呢，这个种子字它就变成了一个本尊的这个手里的这个法器这个比如说像也许像金刚萨埵的话，那就是这个金刚杵如果是文殊菩萨这样子的话，那就是文殊的宝剑如果是普巴金刚，那就是这个金刚诀就是第二个步骤这个种子字变成了这个本尊的主要的这个法器本尊的法器，第二个就变成一个这样子的法器，这是第二个步骤。
So in the first step that we looked at this morning, mainly we are visualizing the sun disk, the moon disk, and the seed syllable. So we've covered that, and we now move on to the second step. And at this step, the seed syllable turns into the hand instruments of the main deity. So if it were Vajrasattva, then the Vajra; if Manjushri, then the sword of wisdom; if Purba, then the Purba. In any case, the seed syllable at this stage we visualize as transforming into the hand instruments.
然后这个法器法器的中心，比如说像这个金刚它的中心就有一个红字，比如说我们修这个修文书的话，那么文书的宝剑上面有文书的种子字嗡阿拉巴扎那帝的这个帝字有些这个修法是有这个这个法器的中间有这个字有些是没有这个字，只有这个金刚或者是宝剑没有这个字都一样的内容，都是一样。这个依柜里面要求有这样子的种子字那我们就观想种子字，如果没有种子字，那就只观想这个法器这样子就可以了。
So in some sadhanas, we visualize the seed syllable at the center of whatever the hand instrument is. So in the image here, we can see the Hongzi at the center of the Vajra. In some sadhanas, for example, if the main deity is Manjushri, then there is sometimes the Di syllable on top of the sword. This really varies from sadhana to sadhana. Some require us to visualize a seed syllable at the center of the instrument, and others don't. So it doesn't make a difference. The content is the same. We just visualize according to the requirements of the sadhana in question.
好，然后这个这个金刚或者是宝剑，观想完了以后，然后就开始发光这个上面都有光这个各种各样颜色的光这个金刚就发光，但这个光就发光的时候呢，就是不一定是这样子它四处的发光就像太阳、月亮和其他的光源一样，它光这个发出来的光是四面八方这样子发光观想这个发光。
And then after we have visualized the implement in question, we then visualizing it emitting rays of light in all directions. So we can see in this picture that there is an emitting of light, a multicolored light. The way we visualize the implement emitting light need not be exactly the same as in this picture. We can visualize the implement emitting light much the same as the sun or the moon or other sources of light emit light, basically with light radiating in all directions.
那么这个发光和这个发起和发起发光这个是什么意思呢？就是投胎以后投胎了以后，比如说是人类的话，那就是在怀胎的这个9个月的时间当中它逐渐的发育这个变成一个胎儿，然后呢就形成一个人的形象，逐渐的就变成一个人的这个身体。那这个过程9个月的这个发育的过程是对应的，这发光是这个意思。
When we visualize the implements, the hand implements of the deity, and particularly when we visualize them emitting light, this corresponds with the period from conception to gestation of a being. So in the case of a human being, we first have the act of, or the event of conception, and then over a period of 9 months, the life form gradually grows, becomes a fetus, and eventually takes on the characteristics of a full human form. So this process corresponds to visualizing the hand implement as emitting light.
然后这个怀胎的这个9个月的时间然后比如说我们前面讲过了通过这个发光和这个发起和发光的这个升起次第，然后它有清净圆满成熟这个这什么意思我们就已经知道了，不需要再反复的讲，就像我们今天上午讲的一样，它是清净了我们下意识投胎坏胎的这个过程就是擦掉了摸掉了意思就是说以后不再轮回然后就是圆满了什么呢？圆满了这个本尊的种子自己的意识自己的心逐渐的变成了进这个本尊的身体，但是呢现在是一个胎儿还没有出生，所以呢现在只是一个佛的发起而已，还不是一个佛像然后呢成熟呢也就是成熟这个逐渐的成熟修这个升起圆满次第都是这个这样是跟我们上午讲的是一样的意思。
So in corresponding to this period of gestation, the visualization of the hand instruments and their emitting of light, as with the previous stage that we looked at this morning, the functions or the purposes of purification, perfection, and ripening are also accomplished. And so what this does is serves to purify our conception and or this period relevant to our next life, with the so that we do not or will not return to cyclic existence, be reborn in samsara. So when we look at the in terms of the ripening function of this stage of practice, the because it is yet still at the stage of implement and not yet at the stage of the deity, it is yet to ripen into that form. So the ripening meaning is that we bring our level of practice here to a point at which we are ready to commence with completion stage practice.
好，这是这个三金刚仪轨当中的第二个，这是怀胎的9个月是对应的。
So the second stage of the threefold visualization ritual corresponds to the 9 months of gestation.
然后第三个步骤，第三个就是最后一个，最后一个呢这个我们前面看到的这个金刚然后比如说我们修金刚萨埵的话，那么现在这个发光这些完了以后呢，第三个步骤，这个金刚就会变成一个金刚萨埵的像一个完整的金刚萨埵的像。
So with in concluding the second stage of the ritual, we now move on to the third stage. And at this stage, the hand implement emitting light transforms into so if we're speaking in the context of Vajrasattva practice, the Vajra now is visualized as transforming into Vajrasattva, the deity himself.
然后这个变成了一个金刚萨埵的完整的像这个就是人慢了这个怀胎的9个月的时间，然后就是出生这两个是对应。
So the emergence of Vajrasattva in his full form as a deity corresponds with the completion of the 9 months of pregnancy and the final birth of the person.
然后呢开始的时候修这个升起次第的时候呢，一般都是修一个一尊佛。比如说我们修金刚萨埵的话，那就一尊这个金刚萨埵的像，这是修一尊或者是其他的这个本尊的话也是一样先是修一尊然后呢也就是一面只有一个面二臂它没有很多的头，没有很多的手一面二臂一个脸2个手一面二臂然后就也不观想太多的这个周边的其他的佛就观想一尊佛。
When we begin with generation stage practice, we just visualize one deity. So if we are visualizing Vajrasattva, it's just Vajrasattva in a single form. A single form, so we are not visualizing many deities, just Vajrasattva in a single form with one face, 2 arms.
好，然后这个一尊佛是比如说儿童的时候人出生了以后还没有那么多的人脉关系还没有这个成家立业然后这个人脉关系没有那么多，就是儿童的时候这是对应的。
And so our visualization of the single deity corresponds with our childhood, so the human childhood. This is a period in life when complicated human connections have not yet been established, a career, marriage, etc. All of these things have not yet happened. So the single deity visualization corresponds with childhood.
然后这个修的比较好了以后呢，然后就开始修很多很多的手很多的腿很多脸我们看到有些佛就是有很多头有很多手我们这里有没有就是佛，就是我们刚才第一个修的佛，就像这个金刚萨埵或者是我们背后这边也有一尊佛，就是这样子的一个这样子的单身的佛单身的佛后面就有一个这个佛这样子的这样子的佛。那这个修的比较好的时候呢，然后比如说佛本尊像千手千眼观音菩萨一样，有11个头，然后有1000个手，1000个眼睛一样，就是类似很多本尊都是有很多头，有很多手，有很多腿，然后就开始修这些比较复杂的这些这个佛就修这些，还有就是周边其他的佛和菩萨观想在周边。
So once we are able to visualize a single deity relatively effectively, then we move on to visualizing the deity with greater complexity. So with more arms, potentially many legs, many faces. Looking around the room now, it's not possible to locate one of these elaborate images, but in any case we can imagine, say, the 1,000-armed Chenresig deity with 11 heads and 1,000 arms or eyes. In any case, many deities appear in these very complex and elaborate manifestations, and we can go on to visualize them in these forms, and not just the main deity itself, but also other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in its retinue.
本尊很多本尊有很多头，有很多手，有很多腿除了我们刚才讲的，比如说它是这些意思以外，还有其他的意思。但是在这个地方呢，从时间的角度来讲，先是投生，然后就是怀胎出生，然后是儿童然后就是成家立业，然后有很多很多的这个人脉的关系就是这样子一个人的事业非常非常发达就是从成年以后到这个衰老死亡之前的这个全部过程跟这个是对应的。
So even though the multiple arms, legs, heads, etc. of deities have other significances, in this context, their complexity and elaborateness corresponds to the coming into adulthood of a being. So this is a period of time in which one's career is established, one's family is established, interpersonal connections become many and complicated, and so in visualizing the deity in these complex forms, in this complex form corresponds with the period of adulthood, its beginning up until the period of old age and death.
我们用这个对应这两个字的时候呢，大家别忘了我们刚才讲的清净、圆满、成熟这三个字，对应就是这三个字这三个内容。
So when we use the word correspond here, please everyone remember that what we mean by this is having the function of purifying, perfecting, and ripening.
好，接下来我们要讲一下，给大家介绍一下我们这个过程当中整个从这个刚才我们观想一个种子字，到最后观想有很多头、很多腿、很多手的这个本尊， 在这个整个的过程当中啊，观想的时候，我们要达到这个3个标准啊，这3个是我们的这个升起次第的标准啊。
So from the beginning of visualizing a seed syllable right up until the visualization of a deity in great complexity and elaborateness with multiple arms, legs, heads, etc., this whole process of visualization needs to accord with the following 3 standards.
首先，第一个标准啊，就是清楚啊，清楚观想。清楚是什么意思呢？我们观想啊，任何一个本尊的时候呢，一定要观想的特别特别的清楚啊，不能就是模模糊糊的，就是在脑子里面想一下，这就不叫观想了啊，这不叫观想。我们观想的时候，必须要就是睁开眼睛啊，看这个佛像的时候一样，特别的清晰啊，特别的清楚，要达到这样子的这个程度。这个是第一个标准。
So the first quality that we strive to manifest in our visualization is clarity. When we visualize the deity, we aim to do so with great clarity and vividness. So when we visualize the deity, it shouldn't be blurry. It's not a matter of just simply thinking a bit about the deity in our minds. This would not constitute visualization. The level of clarity and vividness that we strive to achieve should be the same as when we look at an image of the deity with our own naked eye. So what we are aiming for is a visualization that is very clear and very precise.
包括佛像的眼球的黑白，还有就是衣服上的这个花纹图文，这些都是观想的清清楚楚。
And so this visualization includes details such as the black of the pupil of the deity's eyes, the whites of their eyes, and even the patterns on the fabric of their clothes.
那我们怎么样能够达到这样子的这个标准呢？我们接下来等一下我们会给大家介绍这个具体的方法。
So how do we go about achieving a visualization that is as clear and vivid as this? I'd like to introduce to you a method for doing so.
我们现在很多修这个密宗的本尊的人很多人就是没有通过这个升起次第的具体的方法只是心里去想模糊的去想，那么这样子以后呢，最后就是想的都很模糊的，根本就达不到这个标准，所以这个升起次第的效果也是不是很好的。
So a lot of people these days who practice deity yoga don't follow this particular method in terms of their visualization. They just vaguely or rather unclearly go about bringing the deity to mind. And if this is the level at which our visualization is, then we fail to meet the standard of clarity, and so the results of our practice won't be so good.
然后我们经常听到的2个问题很多学佛人同样的问题，很多人问我心静不下来怎么办心打坐的时候心胡思乱想心根本静不下，这个怎么办？这是经常听到的一个问题。
So there are 2 problems that we frequently hear from Dharma practitioners. The first is that during meditation they're not able to settle their minds, that their minds are very restless and can't be brought into a state of calmness.
然后第二个问题呢，很多人问，就是我观想的时候呢，观想不清楚，根本观想不出来，怎么办？这个就是第二个问题，常听到的两个问题。
And the second frequently heard problem is that of practitioners not being able to clearly visualize the deity, not being able to clearly bring the deity to mind. These two together are extremely frequently encountered problems.
心静不下来打坐的时候胡思乱想，就是因为没有修机制，没有认真的去修机制。
The reason for not being able to bring one's mind into a state of calmness when one meditates is because the practitioner in question has not diligently practiced shamatha meditation.
然后观想不出来观想不出来，就是没有按照这个升起次第的方法去修就这个原因。
And the reason that that practitioners are unable to visualize properly is because they don't follow the proper process according to the generation stage.
这个方法我们等一下再介绍。
But as to this method or process, we will introduce it in a moment.
好，现在我们讲第二个标准。
For the time being, we're going to look at the second quality or standard that we strive to achieve.
第二个标准就是清净。
And that is the quality of purity.
我们前面也讲到过一个清净清净圆满和这个成熟，这个里面也有清净。那这里又是一个清净这两个有什么不一样呢？
So just now, when we were looking at the three functions of generation stage practice, we encountered purification in the context of purification, perfection, and ripening. So what does the purity in this context have to do with the purity or purification encountered in that threefold formula? 然后我们
前面讲到的这个清净是清净我们的轮回轮回当中的生老病死这个死亡中阴，还有就是投生等等的，就是清净了这些不清净的轮回的现象这叫做清净。我们前面介绍的就是这个清净。
The purification that we just looked at was oriented to purifying the events within cyclic existence, so our death, the post-death bardo state, and birth. So purification in that context was speaking about the purification of samsara.
那么现在这个情境是什么呢？这个是我们所观想出来的这个本尊对他的情境我们认为不清净的轮回生老病死的轮回不存在但是佛本尊佛的坛城这个就是实实在在存在的这是存在的，这是真实的如果有这样子的执着这样子执着以后呢，这个执着也是不对的也是不对的。所以我们不单是不能对轮回有这样子的执着，而且对这个佛的坛城也不能有这样子的执着，就是没有了这个执着，清净了这个执着，就是这里我们讲的执着就这个区别。
So some people, some practitioners might believe that the phenomena associated with cyclic existence are not inherently real, but that the idam and its mandala are. And if this were the case, that a practitioner felt was of the belief that these were concretely real things, then this would not be a correct view. This would be an attachment to these as being inherently existent.
那么这个时候啊，比如说我们观想了一个有3个三面6臂啊，就是3个头、6个手这样子的本尊啊。假如我们观想一个这样子的本尊，那么这个时候啊，我们必须要了解啊，实际上啊。没有一个有3个头6个手3面6臂的这样子的本尊啊。那么我观想的是什么呢？这是一个象征啊，3个头是象征啊，这个3身啊，佛的化身、报身、法身啊，就是象征，它是一个象征的一个符号。就比如说我们打一个记号啊，比如说这个法器啊，这个金刚啊，也是一个符号，这个里面都有内容啊，是符号，它就是一个艺术品啊。艺术品里面有一个叫做符号艺术啊，就是用一个符号来代表某一个东西、某一个内容。这样子本尊的3个头啊。比如说前面啊有一个脸啊，然后左一个右一个啊，然后这3个是白色的、蓝色的、红色的啊。假如说有这样子，那么这3个实际上这3个它是象征啊，它是代表啊，或者是象征佛的3身。
So, for example, if we were visualizing a deity with 3 faces and 6 hands, then we need to bear very strongly in mind that what we are visualizing is a symbol, a symbolic entity. So the 3 faces symbolize, in this case, the 3 bodies of the Buddha, the Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya, and the Manakaya. And if we were to take an implement such as the Vajra, this too is a symbol. It is ultimately an object of art. In art, there we speak about symbolic art. It is the same idea. So if we are visualizing 3 faces, say one in the center, one on the right, and one on the left, they have different colors, white, blue, and red, say. Then these carry symbolic meanings. They're symbolizing the 3 Buddha bodies.
然后6个手6臂，这是象征啊6度啊6波罗蜜多6度。
And the 6 arms symbolize the 6 perfections or paramita.
比如说4个腿。4个腿就是象征蛇，蛇就是射手的射，拍蛇，对，射手，射6度射就是这个摄像机的摄，摄音机的摄，知道吧？对，射6度也是大乘佛教里面的一个修法没关系，这个就这么翻译就可以了。
So the 4 legs represent the 4 shi, and we have not yet established in English what that is, but I will get back to you.
比如说我们看到这些分鲁金刚分鲁金刚，它的脖子上就挂了一个这个脖子上挂一个项链是人头骷髅头做的。那这个骷髅头有51个 啊，51个。那这51个它是象征什么呢？就是51个是我们的人的51个在现实生活当中常见的情绪就是情绪念头，各种各样的念头喜乐悲哀这样子的念头常见的就是象征这51个人的念头当然有各种各样，有无数个了，但其中有比较主要的有51个就是象征这个。
So another example, just to fill in on that 4 Sur question, I think it is the 4 altruistic behaviors. If we were to imagine, say, Haruka with a necklace made of 51 human skulls, well, in this case, what do the human skulls symbolize? They symbolize 51 different kinds of emotional states that we typically experience in everyday life.
还有比如说这个愤怒金刚他们的手里这个就是一个人的头天灵盖拖把有拖把，然后呢拖把里面呢有血那这个血它是代表什么血是代表象征贪嗔痴里面的贪心然后他把这个血喝掉了，喝掉是什么意思呢？就把这个贪心消灭掉消灭掉，所以他就是一个通过一个这样子的方式来表达佛的智慧和慈悲。
So if we are talking again about Haruka, who drinks blood and drinks blood from a human skull, well, in this situation, what does the blood symbolize? The blood symbolizes of the 3 poisons of desire, aversion, and ignorance. The blood symbolizes desire, and in drinking this blood, he symbolizes the elimination of desire or greed. So through this symbolic means, or this symbolic means expresses the wisdom and compassion of the Buddha.
曾经有一个人就跟我说过，他现在这人不在了，死了他说他不喜欢密宗为什么不喜欢呢？他说这些密宗的这个佛他为什么人死了还要把人的头砍下来挂在脖子上呢他说所以他不喜欢那当然了，如果是这样子理解的话，谁喜欢谁都不喜欢的但不是这个意思了。
So I once knew a person, they've since passed away, but what they said to me was that they didn't like the Vajrayana, they didn't like Tantric Buddhism. They couldn't understand why after someone had died you would take out their skull and then hang it on a necklace. And of course, if this is how we understand the Vajrayana, then no one would like it. But of course, this isn't its intended meaning.
刚才我们讲过了水母电影里面的任何一个这个形象都跟水离不开。同样的，这个我们现在的这个升起次第里面的观想的任何一个表面上看起来特别凶猛的这些本尊，像普巴金刚还有各种各样的这个本尊一看是很恐怖的但是呢，这个本尊的所有的一切都离不开慈悲心。这个我们刚才讲3个这个三种三摩地的时候都讲过了就像水母电影一样，它在以一个这样子的方式来表达象征佛的这个慈悲和智慧。
So as we spoke about earlier today, a film that is projected against a screen that is made up of water, the images are inseparable from water, and so it is too with generation stage practice. Regardless of how ferocious or wrathful or terrifying a particular deity may superficially appear, in essence, it is inseparable from compassion. We covered this morning when we were talking about the three samadhis. The three samadhis, as we learned, are inseparable from compassion. So these are ways of symbolizing ultimately the Buddha's compassion and wisdom, from which they are inseparable.
所以我们这个第二个标准清净，这个就有两层意思两层意思。第一层意思呢，就是清净，需要清净对这个本尊的执着，这是一个第二层意思呢，我们刚才讲表面上看起来，不管是人的头不管是人的鞋，不管是人的头挂在脖子上表面上看再凶猛的这样子，再怎么样也好，它是一个清净的它是这个在表达通过这种方式表达佛的智慧和佛的慈悲，所以是清净的没有不清净的这些人头人血没有这样子的就是也是这个意思，这两个叫做清净。
So we can say then that the second quality of purity, its meaning has two layers or two levels. The first is purity in respect of our attachment to the reality of the deity being visualized. That is, that we should not be attached to it as inherently existing. The second layer or level of this quality of purity is that notwithstanding how superficially a particular deity may appear to be ferocious and terrifying, regardless of what kind of skulls and human blood, etc., are involved, ultimately these are all means for expressing the wisdom of and compassion of the Buddha, and therefore are pure. In this context, there are no human skulls or human blood that are impure. They are all pure in essence.
比如说这个佛的坛城上大家看到这里有一个贡品，特别恐怖。
So on this offering altar, there is an offering which is extremely terrifying.
首先，第一个中心这个是心脏。
The center of it is a heart.
然后眼睛。
with two eyes.
然后两边是耳朵。
And on both sides human ears.
上面还有个鼻子。
And perched on top is a nose.
上面一朵花就是这个代表我们的触觉，身体的触觉。
And then there is a small flower on top which represents our sense of touch.
实际上就是人的五种感官和心加上来，就这个6个东西。
So in actual fact, what it symbolizes is the 5 sensory faculties, the 5 senses plus our mind consciousness, which together make the 6 senses. This is what it symbolizes.
然后我们一定会想，怎么人的心脏、耳朵全部割下来做贡品，这怎么可能呢？很多人会这么认为。
But of course, many people would think, oh, how can you make an offering made up of a human heart and human ears?
但这个有很多的意思我们了解这个世界是这个中心的心脏是代表我们的意识，然后我们了解这个世界是除了我们的5个感官，再加上我们的意识，就这6个东西去感受这个世界。
But in actual fact, this offering is replete with much meaning. Our heart in this offering represents our consciousness, which So together with our five senses represents the six means or faculties through which we perceive the phenomenal world.
然后我们的视觉听觉、嗅觉、味觉、触觉这五个感觉，然后就加上我们的意识这六个清净了以后然后整个世界是佛的坛城。
And these five senses, our sense of sight, our sense of hearing, smelling, touch, taste, in addition to our mind consciousness, once they are all purified, then the phenomenal world manifests as the mandala of the deity.
所以我们供一个六个清净的这个感官和意识，等于就是供一个整个的清净的佛的世界。
So, in effect, making an offering of six purified senses, our five senses, including our consciousness, is the equivalent of making an offering of a completely purified Buddha realm.
但是它的表达的方式就是与众不同，也就是跟我们其他的，比如说南传佛教，还有仙宗的很多地方是不一样的。它用另外一个方式表达智慧和慈悲。
It's just that the mode or the medium through which this is expressed is somewhat different to conventional ways of making offerings in the Theravada and in the Sutric tradition. This is ultimately a different or unconventional mode of expressing the Buddha's wisdom and compassion.
然后这个大乘佛教的仙宗他们认为这个我们昨天也讲过，到了八地的时候，到了第八地的时候呢，然后这个世界跟我们现在看到的不一样，看到的都是佛的世界。
As we covered yesterday, according to the Sutric path within the Mahayana tradition, it is not until a practitioner has reached the 8th Bodhisattva Bhumi that the phenomenal world appears as a pure Buddha realm.
然后密法里面就强调一个视觉自解脱，听觉自解脱，然后嗅觉自解脱。意思就是说，我们的感官自解脱，就是清净了以后呢，然后就不需要八地九地，不需要这么长时间，现在就是清净的时间。只不过我们的这个感官就是看不到它的真相。如果我们的感官提升了以后，清净了以后，然后这个世界当下就是清净的所以为了表达一个这样子的这个内容就出现了一个这样子的公平但是这个公平的它的背后的这个内容不清楚的话，那这个真的是有点不好解释了。
According to the Vajrayana, however, we speak about the self-liberating capacity of our sense of sight and the self-liberation of our sense of hearing. And so, in light of this perspective, it's not necessary for a practitioner to wait until they reach the 8th Bodhisattva Bhumi in order to perceive the phenomenal world as a pure realm. In fact, it already exists in this state. It's only that we cannot perceive it in our current state. So once we refine or purify our senses, then the purity of the phenomenal world immediately manifests. So it's necessary that we understand the underlying meaning behind many of these symbols. If we don't understand the underlying meaning, then much of the superficial symbolism is rather difficult to accept.
好，接下来就是这个第三个标准第三个标准就是稳定清楚清净稳定这些都是我们临时用的一些词为了大家容易理解，我们用一些这样子的通俗易懂的这个词汇来表达那么稳定是什么意思呢？就是我们昨天讲过了，我们每一个人他的本质上讲密法就是认为我们现在当下就是佛如果我们没有了这些烦恼，这样子的话呢，当下就是我们的本质当下就是佛当下就是佛。那么我们每一个人都要有一个坚定不移的这样子的观念或者是见解观点我就是佛只不过我现在我的这个感官看不见如果我的感官提升了，我立即就看到当下我就是佛所以这个我跟本尊没有任何的这个区别这个观点必须要有一个坚定不移的，所以叫做稳定非常稳定的一个见解我们半信半疑的不稳定的一会儿又觉得是也许我是佛，一会儿又觉得不可能这样子的话，这个就是这个观点不稳定了这样子就没有办法修生起次第所以这个我们的观点非常重要。所以我们修，比如说我把我自己观想金刚萨埵了然后呢，我们的内心当中必须要认可我的这个方法没有错本质上我就是金刚萨埵，所以没有错，我就要这样子观想否则的话我观想金刚萨埵了但是呢，我的观点在排斥，怎么可能你是金刚萨埵呢这样子的话，那就是我的观点和我的修法就矛盾了矛盾了以后就没有任何的结果。
So clarity, purity, and the third quality that we are looking at is stability. So these words that we have used here are just words that we came up with in order to make these concepts easily understandable and accessible to everyone listening today. So when we talk about stability, we're talking about the need for every person to have an unshakable conviction in the fact that their fundamental essence right now in this moment is that of Buddha nature, and that the only reason we do not perceive it as such is because of our afflictions and obscurations. So when we talk about stability, we're talking about a stable or an unwavering or unshakable belief in being in one's fundamental nature, that of the Buddha. So if one were able to perceive this, then one having this unshakable conviction perceives oneself as being no different from the idam or main deity at all. If we only half believe this, if we only half believe that we are already in our fundamental essence Buddha nature, half believing it, thinking it's possible, but then on the other hand thinking, no, that's not really possible. If our belief or conviction in this is unstable, then it's not possible for us to engage effectively in generation stage practice. So our view or attitude is extremely important. And so what we need to do in the context of Vajrayana practice is verify to ourselves the truth of this, that and think with great conviction that I am the deity that I am visualizing. Otherwise, if we visualize ourselves, say, as Vajrasattva, but our minds, our attitudes are contradicting this, then the contradiction will lead to our practice ultimately manifesting no result.
好，这一项我们是将我们的身体怎么样转化为佛的这个身体啊，这一项的这个内容都是这方面的身体方面的。
So what we have been speaking about here is transforming our bodies into the body of the Buddha. So we have been addressing primarily the level of the body.
好，接下来就是我们的语言啊，我们的语言怎么样把它转化为佛的语言。
And what I'd like to talk about now is how we go about transforming our speech into the speech of the Buddha.
整个的这个升起次第我们可以分3个部分，一个是把自己的身体转化为佛的身体，这个就是我们已经讲完了。然后呢，第2个部分呢，我们把我们的语言就转化为佛的语言，就是咒佛的咒语，这是第2个部分。
So it's possible to divide or categorize generation stage practice into 3 different processes. The first that we've just covered is transforming our body or our form into the form or body of the Buddha. The second is transforming our speech into the speech of the Buddha, primarily by means of mantra.
然后第3个部分是我们的心我们的意识怎么样转化为本尊的这个智慧这是第3个部分。
And the third classification or process is transforming our minds into the wisdom of the deity.
其中第1个部分讲完了，接下来我们就讲这个第2个部分。那么第2个部分呢，我们把本尊观想完了以后观想好了以后，那我们还要做什么呢？然后就开始持咒。
So having completed the first step of visualizing ourselves in the form of the deity, now we move on to the second stage, which is transforming our speech into that of the idam, and we do this by reciting mantra.
好，持咒的时候密法里面呢有很多咒论咒论就是咒语形成了一个轮子这叫做咒论。然后它这个也是一个咒论这是一个咒论。你看这个人在观想这个咒论，然后咒论在发光咒论在发光，有一些这样子具体的一些细节的这个发光这些。那么这个呢，我们今天因为时间的关系，这些细节我们不讲大概的一个方法简单的说一下。
So when we recite mantra in the tantra, we have wheels of mantra. So the rotating mantra form what we refer to as mantra wheels. So in this picture, we can see the practitioner visualizing the rotating mantra and the rotating mantra radiating light. There are smaller or more many details related to this visualization, including the emission of light and so on, but due to the fact that we don't have so much time this evening, we're not going to go into a lot of detail.
我们每一次打坐的时候，比如说我们打坐打2个小时，闭关2个小时，这样子的话，前部分呢去观想这个本尊，然后观想本尊，观想的清楚了以后，然后就开始持咒， 比如说是金刚萨埵的话，我们吃这个金刚萨埵的粥是观想什么本尊就吃什么本尊的粥。
So let's just say in the context of a 2-hour meditation session, we would spend the first part of this session visualizing the idam, and once we had managed to do so clearly and vividly, we would then move on to reciting mantra. So if we were visualizing Vajrasattva, then we would recite the Vajrasattva mantra or recite the relevant mantra for whatever idam it is that we are visualizing.
这也是这个周这边是周轮，这边也是周轮，这个人在观想这也是观想轴。
So we can see in this picture that the practitioner here is also visualizing rotating mantra on both the left and the right sides.
吃粥的方法还有就是对这个佛主的吃粥用的这个佛主的要求都有非常细节的但是这些我们自己可以看书现在我们今天来不及讲。
As to the method that we go about reciting mantra, as well as the specific requirements in relation to the kinds of prayer beads that we use, we don't have time to go into that this afternoon, but these are things that everyone can read up on themselves.
吃粥完了以后就是最后一个环节最后一个环节就是收敛次第收敛次第升起次第圆满次第收敛次第最后的环节是这个收敛次第。那么收敛是什么意思呢？我们刚才观想了这个本尊，还有观想了整个的佛的坛称然后现在这个坛称就慢慢最后就要让它消逝消逝，那这个方法就叫做收敛次第。
So after we have finished doing our mantra recitation, we then move on to the dissolution stage of our generation stage practice. So we have the generation stage, the completion stage. We also have the dissolution stage. So what we are doing here is making the idam and the entire mandala that we have brought to visualization dissolve or disappear.
那这个收敛它是一个非常重要的一个环节，整个的这个升起次第当中是一个非常重要的环节。
This particular step or phase in our practice is an extremely critical and important one.
比如说释迦牟尼佛这个出世，然后转法轮，最后又融入到法界，最后佛就圆寂了，最后就是融入到法界当中然后我们的本尊他不会这样子圆寂，但是呢本尊也就消失在这个法界当中消失在法界当中，然后又从法界当中再会出来这个就是表达这层意思。
So the Shakyamuni Buddha arose in the world, turned the wheel of Dharma, and then dissolved into the Dharmadhatu. And with our idam, the idam does not pass into parinirvana like the Shakyamuni Buddha, and yet at the end of the practice, the idam is dissolved into the great primordial space, and it is from this space that the idam then arises once again.
好，现在我们也应该这样子理解，这个水母电影的水从这个水池里面喷出来，喷到这个空间的时候呢， 然后我们可以看到各种各样的人、建筑物这个大自然。然后呢，这个水都落到这个水池里面就落到水池里面，回归了水池的时候呢，然后这个空间是没有任何东西的，看不见任何东西的。
So we can understand this process again with the analogy of the film projected against the water screen. So when the pond or the pool projects water into the air, then we are able to perceive all kinds of images, people, buildings, nature, scenes, etc. However, when that water that has been projected into the air returns once again to the base of the pool, then there is no longer anything to be perceived in the air.
然后我们观想的这些佛的这个坛城也是它是我们的佛心如来藏也叫做佛的三身当中的法身从法身当中透视出来的，也就像我们的这个投影仪投影仪一样投影仪里面呢，它把这个各种各样的画面可以投影出来了可以投影出来。如来藏，我们的如来藏佛心就像一台这个投影仪然后这个投影然后我们刚才观想的各种各样我们刚才观想的各种各样的这个佛的坛城，就是这个投影仪投影出来的画面一样。那这个画面最后这个投影仪关掉了以后然后就都会消失的所以最后我们把这个佛的这个坛城最后就是要让它融入到这个佛心当中最后就是融入到佛心，让它回归到最原始的这个状态当中所以最后就是有收敛次第。
So when we engage in visualization practice, we bring into being an entire mandala, and we can liken this process, the mandala that we bring into being, as a projection of our Dharmakaya or Buddha nature. It can be likened to a projector, a film projector, and our Buddha nature is that projector. It is able to project into being all the various contents of the mandala. It's able to project all kinds of images, but just as when we turn off the film projector, the image on the screen disappears, then so too in the dissolution stage, we return the deity and the entire mandala back to the primordial state of our Buddha nature. And so this is what the dissolution stage entails.
这个时候我们的心就是安住这个法界当中。如果是一个证悟了的人的话，那他就可以这个进入这个空心的状态。如果我们还没有证悟的时候没有证悟的话，那么就是这个所有的融入了消失了以后呢，我们就是不要有任何的杂念什么都不想，就在这个状态当中停留几分钟也算是可以，就目前就只有这样子的办法这个是最后的这个收敛然后这个全部的过程当中呢，我们始终都要知道自己的心实际上就是跟这个本尊的智慧是一体的始终都要保持这样子的这个状态。那这个当然我们没有证悟的时候是没办法保持这样子的真正的状态但是我们没有证悟的时候知道是这样子就可以了。这个是把我们的 意识转化为本尊的这个智慧的这个部分。
So, at the conclusion of the dissolution stage, we bring our minds to abide in the basic space of primordial awareness. For someone who has already realized emptiness, then they abide in this state. If one has not yet realized emptiness, then when one reaches this concluding stage of the phase of dissolution, then simply abiding for several minutes in a state with no conceptual thought is sufficient. So it's important during this entire process to hold in one's mind that one's own mind is inseparable from the wisdom of the deity. Of course, without having realized emptiness first, it's not possible to maintain oneself in this state of awareness, but simply having knowledge of this to be the case is enough. And this is a way for us to transform our minds into the wisdom of the Buddha.
好，这个首莲次第结束了以后呢，然后我们有立即从这个法界当中从佛性如来藏当中再出现立即这个时候就不像我们刚才这么逐步的立即就出现了一个本尊然后呢，这个跟我们自己从大作的状态当中出来了以后，然后就是在现实生活当中时时刻刻提醒自己跟这个本尊是无二无别的这个有简单的方式快速的观想一个本尊，那这个本尊就不需要消失不需要用这个首莲次第然后这个就时时刻刻我们观想在自己的头顶，然后呢，或者是把自己直接观想为这个本尊，然后在这个行走坐卧任何一个时候都提醒自己跟这个本尊是无二无别这样子。那么这以上我们给大家简单的介绍了整个的这个升起次第的内容。
So at the very end of the dissolution stage, we visualize the main deity to arise once again from our state of basic space of primordial awareness. So we do this immediately, we do this rapidly. It's not necessary to follow a gradual process with this visualization. And in bringing this idam back to a state of arising, this serves as a reminder to ourselves in the course of our everyday activities that in every moment we are inseparable from the deity. So we can visualize the deity at the crown of our heads, we can visualize ourselves as the deity, and the purpose of this again is to remind ourselves of our inseparableness from it. And this sums up the entire process.
好，最后给大家介绍一下这个观想的具体的方法。
And what I'd like to talk about now is a specific method of visualization.
观想的时候，首先我们要看佛像观想首先要看佛像观想。
So when we start out visualizing, we need to use an image of the Buddha.
然后这个佛像的大小4寸或者是1卡或者1肘最大就1肘这么大一个这样子的佛像找到一个这样子的佛像
So the size of the image that we require should be no smaller than essentially 4 fingers height, and should be no longer than the length from the tips of our fingers to our elbow.
那这个佛像它有要求的，第一个画得很标准的那我们怎么知道它标不标准呢？就是我们从肉眼看就是让人很欢喜、很喜欢的就是看画得很庄严的、很美的这样子就可以了。就是要有个第一个条件，就是唐卡画的标准。
There are requirements with regards to the image that we use as the basis of our visualization. The first is that the image should be rendered in a standard way. And how do we know if this is the case? Well, if the image brings us pleasure to look at, if it is rendered in a solemn and beautiful and pleasing way, then this is the kind of image or tanka that we want.
然后这个唐卡的这个周边除了比如说我们观想金刚萨埵的话，就中间一个金刚萨埵以外周边就不能有太多的佛像或者是其他的太多的图文。
And at the center of this tanka, we have the main deity, and aside from the main deity, there should not be too many other deities or ornamentation.
比如说这个释迦牟尼佛佛像中间一个释迦牟尼佛佛像，然后呢周边有太多的佛像这样子的佛像是不太适合用来做这个观想的佛像。
So on the wall here is an image of the Shakyamuni Buddha, and surrounding him are a great many other Buddhas. And for this reason, this kind of image would be an not particularly suitable one to use for the purposes of visualization.
就像我们背后的这个门上面的这个佛像就中间就只有一个佛像，然后周边没有佛像，但是周边的这个图就稍微多了一点，就类似于这样子的唐卡，就是适合用来做观想的佛像。
And at the back of this room is another Buddha image, which just has a single Buddha. There's a little bit of ornamentation around the edges, but this plainer style of image would be more suitable for visualization purposes.
藏传佛教里面有专门用来做观想的唐卡。
In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there are tankas that are specifically made for the purposes of visualization.
但是现在我们很方便就把一个很标准的唐卡扫描，然后呢周边的这些图像不要了打印出来就是标准的观想用的唐卡了。
But it's very convenient for us in this day and age. All we need to do is make a scanned copy of a proper or correct Buddha image, and the Buddhas or other ornamentation in surrounding the image we can simply edit out, and then if we print it out, we have ourselves a very good tanka to use.
然后第二就是这个唐卡要开光。
And then the second requirement is that we need to have the image consecrated.
就这两个条件，第一个是画的标准，适合用来做观想；第二个就是开光，就具备这两个条件。
So there's just these two requirements. The first is that the image be properly rendered and be suitable for visualization practice, and the second requirement that the image be consecrated.
然后这个唐卡就是放在我们打坐的时候，打坐的前方放在前方 就是我们可以这样子真实不需要抬头，不需要低头，真实的这个地方就把这个唐卡就挂在这个地方，在自己的前面，大座的前面。
And we place this image directly in front of us so that we are able to look straight at it without needing to look up or look downwards.
然后这个佛像的前面就是摆设一些简单的供品简单的供品。但是这个简单的供品当中呢比如说如果有香那我们大坐的时候就不要点香这个香的这个烟会影响我们的视觉然后呢如果有灯的话，像酥油灯就不点点了以后呢，然后呢这个酥油灯的这个气体热气有些时候也会影响到这个唐卡或者说影响到我们的眼睛但是比如说鲜花然后水等等供一个简单的供品，不需要复杂。
And in front of the tanka, we should place some simple offerings. Incense, if we have incense, we shouldn't light it because the smoke can irritate our eyes. And butter lamps, for example, sometimes their vapor or their heat can affect the tanka. So things like flowers, fresh flowers, water, simple offerings like this are fine. There's no need for great complexity.
还有一个就是这个唐卡的光不能反光就像玻璃这个透明的这样子以后就容易反光唐卡我们观想的时候不能反光。
The other thing is that the surface of the tanka should be non-reflecting. So glass and things like this tend to reflect light. So this is not what we want.
然后唐卡不能放在逆光的地方，比如说光从这个窗户里面照过来的时候呢，我们把唐卡放在这边那这样子的时候呢，唐卡看不见刺眼。受到这观想就会受到影响，光这个唐卡不能放到逆光的地方。
We also shouldn't place the tanka in a place in a location where there is strong light. So if we were to place it in front of a window from where a very strong or piercing light was coming, then this would probably irritate our eyes, so this is not a good thing to do.
还有一个无论是这个灯光或者热光和自然光这个光照在这个唐卡的时候要均匀比如说唐卡的上半身特别的亮然后下半身呢就有这个阴影不亮这样子的话就会这个观想会受到影响，所以这个唐卡的从上到下左到右这个光是很均匀的。
Another point to bear in mind is that regardless of whether the tanka image is illuminated by sunlight or artificial light, the light should be distributed evenly across the surface of the image. So if the upper half of the tanka is light and the lower half is dark, then this also impacts on our visualization.
好，然后这样子的唐卡放在前面我们就在这个唐卡前面打坐，身体做毗卢祈福这个方法有7种姿势，这个姿势我们不讲了，大家应该是比较清楚的。毗卢祈法这些全部做好了以后呢，然后具体的方法就2只眼睛看这个佛像。
So we place the tanka in front of us, and in terms of our bodily posture, we adopt the 7 postures of Virachana. I won't go into them here. I'm sure everyone knows what they are. And we look at, we fix our two eyes on the tanka in front of us.
然后我们首先看这个佛的脸佛的脸部，或者是先看头顶的佛的头顶的肉际这个头顶，或者是整个脸都可以看佛的脸部或者是有些时候我们可以看这个佛的眉间这个地方两个眉毛的中间还有呢就是有些时候先看一下整体佛的整个的这个身体，然后不管是看局部或者是这个整体然后内心当中把所有的杂念放下不要有任何杂念，然后就是把我们的意识还有两只眼睛这三个东西都定在这个佛像的脸部两只眼睛定在佛像的脸部，然后呢心也就专注在佛像的脸部然后不想任何其他的事情，这样子这个关系这样子看佛像。
So when we fix our gaze on the Buddha image in front of us, we first look at or bring our gaze to the Buddha's face. Sometimes we can bring our focus to the hair bump on top of the Buddha's head. I can't remember the technical word for it, or the point between the Buddha's two eyebrows. In some cases, we may bring our attention to the Buddha as a whole figure. But regardless of whether we are first gazing or looking, observing the Buddha as a whole or just a particular part, such as the face or the head, it is important for our mind to relinquish all thoughts. So in looking at the face, we fix our two eyes on the face, we fix our mind on the face of the Buddha and concentrate in this way with no thoughts.
我们的眼睛就是只能在一个焦点上的时候，这个焦点这个局部看得清楚其他的整体是不是看得很清楚的，所以每一个部位都要一个一个看，所以先看佛的脸部。
Because when we are focusing on a particular part of the Buddha's body, it's only possible for us to perceive that part with clarity. The rest of the body appears to be rather blurry. Therefore, it's necessary for us to focus on different parts of the body step by step. So we begin by focusing on the Buddha's face.
然后这个脸部看得清楚了以后呢，再看右手。
And after we have observed the face with clarity, we then move on to the right arm.
然后是左手。
And then the left arm.
然后这个都观想的比较清楚了以后呢，上半身都观想比较清楚的时候，就是看右腿。
And after we have observed the upper body with clarity, we then move on to the lower half of the body, beginning with the right leg.
然后再看左腿。
And then the left leg.
然后最后呢，我们看有些时候我们自己观想的时候呢，有些局部是非常非常的清楚特别的清晰，有些部分呢比较模糊有这种情况这个时候哪个地方比较模糊，就看这个局部。
And what we often find is that after observing or focusing on different parts of the deity, that there will be certain parts of the deity that we are able to visualize more clearly than others. There will be certain parts that we're able to visualize with clarity and precision, whereas other parts will be more blurry. So in that case, what we need to do is focus on those parts of that are blurry and observe them carefully.
这个方法除了这个观想清楚以外，同时也可以有这个禅定的这个效果啊，心平静下来，能够平静的下来，越来越有这个禅定的功夫。
So in addition to helping us establish clarity in our visualization, this practice of focusing with our eyes on the Buddha image also helps us to bring our minds into a state of calmness. So it also has benefits in terms of meditative concentration.
最后我们睁开眼睛看这个佛像的时候，这个时候清楚以外闭着眼睛的时候，也就是这个时候是不是我们的意识去想而是这个时候它已经印在我们的这个脑海当中然后呢不去想不去看，也就自然而然就看得特别特别清楚，而且会发光非常明亮的最后会达到一个这样子的境界。
So after a period of observing the Buddha with our naked eyes in this way, it will be possible for us to close our eyes and to see the deity in our mind's eye. And when the deity manifests in this way, it doesn't do so because we are consciously seeking to visualize it. It is, at this point, imprinted in our brains, and it is also possible for the Buddha in this state to radiate light.
这个1天2天1周2周是肯定是达不到这个程度，所以要耐心做任何事情都要坚持才会成功。
This level of practice or visualization is not possible to achieve within just 1 or 2 weeks. It's something that we need to have patience in respect of. Whenever we do anything, we need to be persevering.
然后这个时候我们就是比如说睁开眼睛看到的时候，整个的佛像特别清楚然后闭着眼睛的时候呢然后这个时候要观察这个画面是不是比较稳定的然后闭着眼睛看能不能同样可以显现出来那这是达到了闭着眼睛的时候，也就是像睁开眼睛正在看这个佛像的时候一模一样非常清楚，而且很稳定这样子的时候呢这个环节就做好了。
So when we observe the Buddha with our eyes open, we need to establish whether we're able to do so with clarity and stability. Then we move on to seeing whether when we have our eyes closed that we are also able to manifest the image of the deity with similar clarity and stability. And when we're able to do so, when the image that we are able to bring to mind with our eyes closed is the same that we perceive with our eyes open, then we can consider ourselves to have accomplished this step of the practice.
好，达到了这个程度的时候，然后我们不要唐卡了不要唐卡，不看唐卡，不看佛像然后一大座直接就是我们的眼前或者我们脑海里面呢就出现这个画面。那这个时候我们不要认为这个是佛像这个是唐卡这个时候我们把它当作金刚萨埵真正的本尊，真正的佛来看继续修。这个时候呢，我们把我们自己的身体就观想为我们脑海里面显现出来的这个佛像。
So when we have succeeded in achieving this level of clarity, then we no longer need to rely on a tanka or a Buddha image. And when we engage in our practice, we manifest the deity in our minds or in front of our eyes. And when we do this, we don't want to think to ourselves that what we are perceiving is just an image of the Buddha or a image of the Buddha from a tanka. We need to perceive the deity as a real Buddha. So if it is Vajrasattva, then we understand that we are perceiving Vajrasattva in his reality. And we also then go about visualizing our own body as it exists according to the image that appears in our minds.
好，这个时候我们一开始的时候就是只有我们的意识当中逐渐的认为自然而然的认为我这个身体现在就是这个金刚萨埵的身体这样子的一个人格意识当中就接受了。平时我们现实生活当中认为自己是金刚萨埵有这种意识但是呢我们的眼睛这个时候看不见我们的手也摸不到金刚萨埵的，比如说头戴的这个佛冠这些摸不到，但是意识当中呢一直都有一个这样子的观念我是金刚萨埵这种观念很稳定的。
So at the beginning of practicing in this way, our identification between our identification that our own body is in fact Vajrasattva's body is something that we need to gradually establish. When we are able to do so, then in the course of our everyday life, even though our physical form we don't perceive with our eyes the bodily features of Vajrasattva, nevertheless we maintain a natural awareness of our minds as the same as Vajrasattva, and naturally we achieve a stable identification in this way.
然后再坚持修的时候呢，就到一定的时候虽然肉眼看不见但是可以摸到手可以摸到头顶，比如说有金刚萨埵的这个五佛冠还有就是一些金刚萨埵的衣服和这个首饰手能够摸得到但是眼睛看不见。到了一定的时候金刚萨埵的这个，比如说金刚萨埵的这个头上有这个，比如说金刚萨埵头上的这些首饰然后身上的这些衣服这些自己的手在自己身上会摸得出来，但是肉眼看不见。
And when one reaches a particularly high level of stability in identifying one's own form with that as Vajrasattva, then one will find oneself being able to touch, perceive through one's own touch the crown of Vajrasattva, Vajrasattva's clothes and Vajrasattva's ornaments on one's own being, although one's naked eye is not able to perceive these things.
然后再继续修，这样子的时候呢，然后自己的眼睛肉眼都看到我现在这个身体是金刚萨埵的身体但是别人看不见，还是在别人的眼里还是过去的这个人但是自己的肉眼最后都能够看得见是金刚萨埵就是这样子逐渐的把自己的身体真正的转化了金刚萨埵。我们的意识 就有这样子的力量。
And then by continuing to practice and by continuing to increase one's level of identification with the actual form of Vajrasattva, then even one's naked eyes will be able to perceive Vajrasattva's various ornaments on oneself. Even though one might be able to perceive these things oneself, however, other people don't perceive these things with their eyes. What they see is ourselves in the way they previously existed. So gradually, through our practice, we are able to reach a point where we completely identify ourselves with the form of Vajrasattva. Our minds, our consciousness possess the power to achieve this.
那升起次第，那达到了这个程度的时候呢，然后以禅定、以观想自己的身体立即就变成金刚萨埵的身体，然后在这个禅定当中，然后就可以做很多很多的利益众生利益众生，比如说对别人消除别人的这个病痛或者是各种各样的利益众生的事业这个时候就开始做这些利益众生的这个事业那这个就是最后的这个升起次第的结果。
And then finally, at a point where one is able to spontaneously manifest oneself in the form of Vajrasattva, then one has reached a stage of a capacity to really be able to engage in all manner of activities for the benefit of other beings. So work to eliminate their suffering and other kinds of activity as well. So this is the result of this practice.
这个就是我们的金刚萨埵的这个升起次第的一个具体的方法，大概就是这样子然后呢，我们刚才我想这个当中，如果你们深入的去思考的话，会有一个困扰那他金刚萨埵的这个佛像是有一个人画出来的那我们看久了以后呢，把这个东西就转移到我们的脑海当中然后通过我们的意识把它变成我的身体那么最终我也许可以看得见，我的肉眼看得见，或者是我的意识，或者是我的手也可以摸得着，但实际上呢我们的身体就是转换了另外一个不一样的形象，那到底有没有什么实际的意义呢？唐卡不就是人画出来的吗？我想可能有这样子的疑问。
This is how we specifically go about visualizing the deity. I would imagine that many of you, if you deeply think about it, might be somewhat might experience a doubt in your mind. That is, the Vajrasattva image that we were, say, meditating on just now was something that someone originally drew, and by looking at it for a sustained period of time, we were able to etch it into our minds, and through the power of our consciousness, imagine ourselves as transformed in this way. And perhaps it's possible even through our practice to reach a point where we can even feel through our sense of touch parts of our body as existing in this form. But ultimately, have we just not essentially transformed our image of ourselves into the form of something else? Is there any real and substantive meaning in doing this?
所以我们要知道不仅仅是我们的身体的样子这个我们的身体的形象产生了变化，而且我们的语言的能力还有 最关键的就是我们的意识啊，我们的心也在转变啊，就是同步，这三个是身口意啊，身与意的这个变化提升是同步的，所以我们的身体的这个变化达到了一定的程度的时候呢，我们的内在的这个意识也就提升，逐渐的在转变为本尊的这个智慧。
In actual fact, though, it's not just our physical form that is being transformed into that of Vajrasattva. It is also the capacity of our language, and in particular, of critical importance, our minds. So this is actually a transformation of body, speech, and mind. And this process of refinement, in this process of refinement, the transformation of all three go hand in hand. When our transformation of our physical form reaches a certain level, then our consciousness also becomes transformed too into the wisdom of the deity.
然后这个升起次第的最后，我们要进入这个圆满次第啊，圆满次第。然后圆满次第呢，就是真悟大圆满大受因或者是真悟啊，真正的这个真悟心的本心啊，空心。那么这个才是最永久、最永恒、最可靠的一个修法。
And after we have completed or accomplished generation stage practice, then we move on to completion stage practice. And this involves realizing the fundamental nature of our minds, or achieving enlightenment at the level of Dzogchen or Mahamudra practice. And this level of realization or enlightenment is the most eternal, permanent, and reliable form.
好，这样子以后呢，我们给大家就简单的介绍了这个升起次第的一个整个的它的意思还有一个简单的这个具体的方法这些都介绍过了。我想通过我们这个3堂课，大家对升起次第有所了解。这样子以后呢，我们以后就修升起次第的时候，我们就知道为什么这么修呢？为什么有一个这样子的修法呢？这个有修法的意思是什么？目的是什么？这些都比较清楚了。这样子以后呢，我们修升起次第，我想应该有一些帮助。
So in the 3 classes that we've had, or 3 sessions that we've had this weekend, we have covered the meaning or the significance of generation stage practice, and we've also looked at some of the method of actually engaging in generation stage meditation. So I would hope that through these 3 classes that we have gained some understanding of the reasons why we engage in generation stage practice. What is the purpose? What are the goals? And what is the significance of the different stages of practice? And I hope this will be of some assistance to you in your own practice.
但是很多的这些细节因为我们时间的关系，没有来得及讲。
However, there are many details relevant to generation stage practice that, due to time constraints, I didn't have the opportunity to go into.
然后这些细节呢，我们要用一些本尊的仪轨平时我们念诵的这个仪轨对照去讲的话，然后就是讲的比较清楚。因为这个仪轨里面呢，它每一个环节都有几句话有些是比较多，有些是少，或多或少它有这些内容都有的。所以在一个这样子的仪轨和我们的修法对照讲的话了解的话，就是会更加的清楚。
As for these details, if we were to teach using a sadhana or a liturgy, then we would be able to go through the details of each, the steps of each stage and explain the details with more clarity. In generation stage sadhanas, there are generally a few lines of instruction, sometimes more, sometimes less, regarding each step. And so if we were to teach in a way that related the actual practice to the words of the sadhana, then the details would be able to be explained more clearly.
现在我们那个接下来的，比如说闭关啊，比如说我们有些人接下来要闭关啊，修本尊法，那这样子的话，首先啊，就是我们要了解一下这个本尊的仪轨的这个内容。
So if practitioners in the future decide to go into retreat in order to do idam practice, then it is necessary to have a good understanding of the content of the particular sadhana.
另外一个呢，这个本尊的修法就它有这个升起次第，有简单化的升起次第的这个修法啊。专门是用来揭示这个仪轨的，有这样子的简单的升起次第啊。那么我们就要去第二个，就是要去学一下这样的这个升起次第的简单的介绍，简单的解释。
And then there are also instruction manuals that set out in simple terms how one goes about generation stage practice. It's an introduction to generation stage practice. So this would be something to study.
然后还有些地方不太清楚的话，那我们这边也有很多上师，也很多仁波切，很多这个堪布要问问他们有些个别的地方不清楚的话，那这样子的话，我想基本上我们就了解了这个升起次第的一个简单的修法了。
And if you found yourself having questions about different points of practice, well, in our company there are many lamas who you could approach to help you clarify these points of unclarity. So in so doing, we would probably be able to gain a good overall understanding of generation stage practice.
藏传佛教密法里面呢有一些通俗易懂的一些这样子的手册比较小的这个升起次第的这个指导指南也就是这个闭关指南这样子的书很多的讲的也非常清楚的，我想应该有这个英文版的这一类的书然后呢大家学一学也就基本上就清楚了。
So in the tantric tradition, there are also quite a lot of instruction manuals or handbooks, and particularly retreat manuals that introduce in very clear terms the procedure of generation stage practice. I don't know if they exist in English, probably they do. In any case, these handbook manuals can be studied, and in so doing you would be able to gain a clear understanding of the practice.
好，我们这次的这个升起次第的这个课就讲到这里。
So that brings to a close our teaching this year on the generation stage practice.
好，最后我们做一下忏悔和回向。
So we will conclude with some purification recitation and finally with a dedication of merit.
花多吉生花拉香扎龙巴扎日萨多萨玛雅玛那巴拉雅巴德萨多蒂诺巴蒂那罗梅巴斯多哈梅巴斯摩哈梅巴那多梅巴萨拉格玛斯多梅巴拉扎萨拉格玛萨梅扎香格 Om Bhagava Sarada Dagada Badr Mami Manza Badr Bama Samaya Sato Om Banzara Sato Samaya Manambara Badr Sato Dino Madina Rume Basato Home Basabo Home Panaradam Saragan Masir Me Baraza Saragan Maza Me Zajo Goro Om Bhagava Sarada Dagada Badr Mami Manza Badr Bama Sam Sato Am Banzara Sato Samaya Manambara Badr Sato Dino Madina Rume Basato Home Basabo Home Panaradam Me Basaragan Masir Me Baraza Saragan Mas Zanajo Goro Om Bhagava Sarada Dagada Badr Mami Manza Badr Bama Samaya Sato Om Banzara Sato Hom Badr Sato Badr Sato Badr Sato Mother Sato, 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 Mother Mother Sato, 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 Mother Mother Sato, 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 Home Mother Sato, Mother Sato, Mother Sato, Mother Sato, Mother Sato, Mother Mother Sato, 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 Mother Mother Sato, Dada Simchen Damje Ji Damze Nyamcha Kanda Jam Dani Shanche Nyambo Damze Dambara Ta Barasho Sonum Deyi Damcha Zimba Nyam Domne Nibe Jana Panshe Yerga Nanje Valon Jeba Jibim Zolin Joa Jorasho Oma Ahom Banzangara Bamasana Oma Ahom Banzangara Bamasana